Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the Starting 11 show. Everton versus Tottenham Hotspur in the Premier League. Let's get into it. Jordan Pickford in goal. Yeah, I mean, he's in he's so much Everton's number one. I didn't even mention him in the last Starting 11 show. I'm going to go for 3 at the back. I think this could potentially get more out of the team, having 3 at the back. I think I went for 3 at the back last game as well, but I do think it, with the players we've got, I think whether it's short term or long term, I think it's something that could get more out of the team. So my 3 would be Brien, James Tarkowski and Jared Brandtwaite. I think you've got a good balance in there. I think what that does is it means we can cover the back line. It means that we're not really needing as much recovery pace in midfield as well. That protection, even though we'll have protection, and it means that the wing backs can be the width and allow a couple of more the attacking players to be closer to the forward. So I'm going to go for those 3 at the back. I think it will be those 3 if we were to move to 3. I think there's a good, as I said, I think there's a good mixture in there. Obviously, people have got to try and get rid of those mistakes that we've been making. Jared Brandtwaite's been making mistakes, and obviously made a big mistake the other night for the goal. Just got to start feeling a bit more confident on the ball, which I'm sure will come while they have more of it, because it's something we just haven't been doing. But obviously, the game against Villa showed we're probably going to try and have more of the ball, because we can't. The thing about it, when you're the way before, we were trying not to have the ball, which meant we played on the break, but we're not fast on the break, so it was pointless, really. So 3 at the back. The 2 wing backs, I'm going to go for Nathan Patterson on the right, and I want him really high up. I want him as the winger, to be honest. I want him as the guy who's getting up there, who's getting on the edge of their box, like you see every modern team, as you saw Everton 10, 12 years ago with our fullbacks. It doesn't help when our fullbacks are playing on, inside their own half and they don't move. So he'd be on the right. I think he needs a chance. On the left, I'm going to go for Mykolenko, but I actually thought maybe Jack Harrison could play this role. I think we have to start looking at Jack Harrison as a left winger rather than the right winger. It's just not happening on the right. His numbers on the left for Leeds are really good, and he's just been pigeonholed because he sort of had to come in and play on the right, and it sort of worked for us when he came in. But this season, and parts of last season, it just didn't work at all. He's too predictable. So I actually think with his work rate, and being left-footed and getting crosses in, I think it could work, but I'm not going for it. I'm going for Mykolenko because I just think you can't make too many changes all at once. There has to be an element of continuity, and maybe we can get more out of Mykolenko. I think there was a little bit more out of him. Good signs the other night, but I think he just has to, be braver and get higher up the pitch, and that's what they'll be asking for. I'm trying to go for him at left wing back. The 2 sort of sitting midfielders, holding midfielders, I'm going to go for Mangala and Adesanya Gay. I think at the moment they are the 2 that will do that job, and that's what they do anyway. And that's been quite consistent for well over a month now. And to be fair, they're not terrible at that job. They know what they're doing. So those 2 in there, and ahead of them, in almost like what we saw last Thursday, is 2 players just playing in almost like a box in midfield, just playing in and around Dominic Calvert-Lewin, being the creativity for. I've just said Dominic Calvert-Lewin. That was a Freudian slip. Being the creativity for the centre forward and trying to get on the ball in the spaces. As I said last week where we saw Harrison Armstrong, we tried it with Njai last week. It didn't quite work, but I'm going to go for Lindstrom and I'm going to go for Njai in those 2 roles. Almost like 2 number 10s or two number 8s, whichever way you want to look at it. This is the way a lot of teams play, and they allow the width to be the full-backs, and the full-backs create an overload, and it forces the opposition full-backs backwards. It's something we've not really done. As I said, funny enough, Leighton Baines tried it last week, and for Harrison Armstrong, I think it worked, and he got better in a few times. But I think Lindstrom, this is more of his natural position, so why not? And Jai, it gets him closer to the goal. I don't think it worked for him last week, but he has to find that position. Again, he has to be like deprogrammed from what he's been doing under Sean Dyche and his first game under David Moyes. He has to get away from picking the ball up wide and pick it up in those half spaces, as they call them, and in and around the box to be closer to the forward. That's what I'm going to go for. As I said, the width has to be provided by the fullbacks for this. And up front, I'm actually going to go for Beto, because I just thought Dom's miss the other night was terrible. I just think Beto will be chomping at the bit, to get going, get a goal. You probably think, why aren't I getting a chance when he's watching Dominic Calvert-Lewin miss chances? I just think, yeah, if we're going to get players around them, it might just work. It might work. If we're not going long as much, then it might work. So I'm going to go for Beto, Dom on the bench. He can come on. I know people will be like, we should go for 2 up front. I still think there's a problem with the supply. And until we get that right, it would be just going long. And I think we're all a bit tired of that. We want to see a little bit more progressive football. So that's my starting 11. Let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure you watch the match preview with Baz and myself. Give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already. If you want more great videos, join us over on Toffee TV Premier. The link is in the description. QR code's come on the screen now. See you later.